I have the pleasure to talk to Consuela Munoz. Is that how I pronounce it?
Consuela Munoz, like the moon in the sky.
Oh, I'm not very good with Spanish. So, who she is a Gallup Certified Strength Coach, and she works with entrepreneurs to defeat the shiny object syndrome. She's a speaker, trainer, author, and founder of the CEO Way and Impact Makers Playground. Now, she'll be talking at the Thrive in Business and Prosper in Life Summit on October 16th to 22nd. And her particular talk is called Squirrel, How to Defeat Shiny Object Syndrome, on Sunday, the first day, October 16th at 2:30 p.m. PST time, which is 5:30 p.m. EST time. And, even though with 12 years of coaching on strength, what do you see that, entrepreneurs face the most? And why is this topic so important to you?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So shiny object syndrome is something that entrepreneurs definitely are facing and can really get in their way. It can get in the way of their success. And it's something, as far as passionate for me, I'm spending, as an entrepreneur, I'm spending more and more time with entrepreneurs. And it really was something that I realized that was holding me back, but at the same time, holding back so many other entrepreneurs. So I really, I came up with this process and this tool, and I really want more and more people using. So I have my tool, the Impact board, and I'm, saying I'm on a mission to get it to be more popular, or at least as popular as a vision board. But really it's around how can we have more and more entrepreneurs get to that success level before they give up, before they are finished.
Okay. And so to help them to the success and not be distracted, be a squirrel. I love that word squirrel. I was like, what? Is that, it's not part of your coaching. Yeah, it's important in your coaching. Like it's like Gallup, knowing the strength. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Sure. So I'm a strengths coach, AKA major strengths nerd. Like I can't help it. Strengths is just really that important to me. And we use the strengths through, even with looking at shiny object syndrome, for a couple reasons. One, because knowing what you do best can help you figure out what are your long-term goals and your vision, and what is that vision of what you want to do, and that your why for doing what you do. It can help you figure that out, but also then give you some focus on your short-term goals and give you some ideas about where you're most tempted. Where are you tempted to chase those shiny objects things? And that way, when you know where you're tempted, you have the power and the ability to say no to those things.
So the shiny object syndrome is like chasing the next big trend in businesses. And then because you're working on strength, you build your core strength. Is it part of your coaching also to help people when to source out something that's important, like ads? Because I don't know anything about ads.
So, I mean, definitely, right? There's going to be, when we're using our strengths, we're figuring out, okay, I'm really good at this. And, by elimination, we know what we're not good at, right? Although I say when we do our strengths, we get our strengths assessment report back, right? There are 34 strengths. The first thing everybody does, what is my number one? Ooh, I want to find out. What's my number one? What are my top 5? And then the very next thing they do, boom, right down to the bottom. What's my last strength? It's just how human nature is. So we're always worrying about what that is and what that isn't. But when you're talking about, handing something off, it's so important for small business owners, and we wait way too long to do that. We feel like, I'm pretty good at a lot of things, and I have to, so I'm gonna just do all the things. But we shouldn't be doing all the things. And this can help us be focused enough on the things we should be working on, and able to say no to the things that we couldn't. Some of that being able to say no comes with the confidence. As you build your strength-based confidence, it's a little easier to say, no, I'm not spending time on that. One, it would take me too much time. Someone can do it quicker. It's going to cost me, but it's going to save me even more because I'll have more time spent on the things that I do and that I'm amazing at. And what does that actually look like? A lot of times we think we're saving money by doing it ourselves, and we're really just costing us so much.
I have firsthand experience with two entrepreneurship where I had to, focus on what I could do best and then let everybody else do that's really good, do better. And so my personal experience was I was a computer consultant during the worst time. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I thrived. So I was a computer consultant during the .com boost. And anybody who is in computers, I remember driving down this parkway. I swear it must have been like 5-10 miles of business parks, and the parking lots were empty. It was sometime after the 9/11. So what happened after 9/11 was the .com bust, and I was still working because I had somebody who was able to do marketing, get me leads, who had credibility, and I just focused on programming. And then that's an important part, that, just focus on what's important to you. And then there's another side where I was a realtor during the house market crash, and I was still selling 4 to 5 homes per month because, again, I was just focused on one thing and not with others. So like having a strength coach who makes you focus on stuff that you're good at, makes you thrive in any economy. It doesn't matter if it's a recession or whatever, you thrive because you're focused on what you're good at.
I love that. And how amazing your story to thrive when so many other are struggling. But that really is when you, I mean, the longer you work, the more experience you have. I'm not going to say age, but the more experience you have, right? You kind of get an idea of what you're good at. Mm-hmm. There's something about taking the assessment.
Yes.
Getting that report back. It's words, black and white on a page, and they come from somebody else telling you how amazing you are. That really, like, even just getting the report back can boost your confidence by 20%. Right. So knowing that and knowing like, okay, it's almost giving yourself permission to do the things that you're best at and release those things that you're not and allow someone else to do them. Yeah. Because as entrepreneurs, we want to hold like, oh, I got to do all the things. I got to be amazing at all the things. And that can really, and then that's where shiny object can start to kick in, right? Because like, well, I'm doing this and I'm really struggling because you're not handling marketing, or you're not handling this part or that part, whatever part it is. And then you're constantly bombarded and you're looking for that quick fix. Well, Bob did this. He did webinars. I should probably try webinars. I should do that. I should learn that. And every time you stop to chase something, you're stopping. You're stopping your progress. You're no longer moving forward. And so anytime you're like, oh, I'm going to get this new software, it's going to solve this problem. But now you have to like, and take time to learn that new software. And every time you're doing that, you're stopping your progress, or at least pausing it. And if you're paused, you're not moving forward. You're going to be somebody who's no longer in the parking lot because somebody else is going to be the one that's thriving, right?
Yeah, I love that. It's like if you chase the next trend, then you're not the expert anymore at what you were really an expert to begin with. And the thing was, to become an expert, it doesn't take that long, actually. I know, I feel like I'm hijacking this interview, but I'm just saying that there's focusing what's you're really good at. It doesn't matter about your experience level. It's just how you can focus. I was a corporate trainer and I was in my 20s, and I was training people who were decades older than me, been in the business decades older. Also in real estate, I was actually, when, people who are in realtors who were in the business for decades and 5-10 years were quitting the profession. I had just came in within a year of experience and I was still like crushing it. So that just focusing on what you're good at And that's what you help to do. And you're like, okay, don't do that.
I
It's
think
so
it's a bit
important.
of both though, right? So it's focusing on what you're good at, knowing that helps you determine what you're doing and why you're doing it. And
Mhm.
what is your long-term goal and your short-term goal? And I joke, if you have shiny object syndrome, like I had a severe case of shiny object syndrome. So I make this joke about like, I changed my annual goal every 3 months, right? Like, oh, now I'm doing, so we can get trapped in that cycle of chasing those things and chasing those things. So focus, discipline, these are not high strengths for me. They are in the bottom of my strength list. So it's not natural for me to be very disciplined. So I had to find a way that works with my strengths to have that discipline. Like, how can I use the strengths I have to have the discipline and focus to stay with that goal for a whole year versus 3 months, right? And so it's really increasing our focus on what we want to get, making our goal strong enough that nothing else can get in the way. So it's like, no, this is my goal. I'm not going to chase after this thing. I'm not going to do this other thing. I'm not going to get that new software. I'm not doing whatever, FOMO thing that you've got going on, right? Like you see, oh my gosh, my buddy just published a new book. And it's like, dang it, I got to write a new book. No, wait, I'm going to stay focused. I'm not going to write a book because that's not going to help me with my goal this year. So maybe that is something. And I have this process, we go through an idea test and you're going to decide, is it an action or a distraction? Is it helping you with your goal or is it a distraction this year? And it's a simple process, but we use that and it keeps us on that path, on that clear path towards our goal so that we can achieve the things we're meant to achieve for that year.
I love it because it's like, how sometimes thoughts churn in people's head, like in my head, and to have somebody to bounce idea and like, to bring clarity it's great because then it saves us time, money, and
Effort, energy.
tears. Tears.
Well, so you say churn. I was just speaking with a client this morning talking about the churn. And so we're going to work on that, right? So I call it kind of like a fog.
Yeah.
You've got this new idea for like a whole new other business and it's kind of running around in your head and you play it over and over. And then, but there's this thing I got to be doing. I need to update my website. I need to make this social post. All these things are constantly running around in there.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're in here, they pile up. They pile up like pizza boxes in a frat house, right? They just like, and you can't see what you're meant to do anymore. You have to get them out. So we have to, and it's not pretty, but we need to do an idea dump, right? Dump them all out. And then, sorry, my roommates are having an argument. So we need to dump them all out and then sort them and go through what are the most important and then test them. Are they actions? Are they distractions? And that's part of the process we have to deal with so we can defeat that shiny object.
That's awesome. I love it. And our time is almost up. So Consuela is going to be talking on October 16th, the first day of the Thrive in Business and Prosper in Life Summit. She's going to be talking about Squirrel, how to defeat the shiny object syndrome. And she's going to be speaking among a lot of heavy hitters. We have people from a leadership team from Larry King, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Warner Brothers, and there's more that I've forgotten. But so you'll learn a lot of business strategies that day and, life strategies during the whole week. The registration for Consuela's talk and the rest of the summit is going to be in the comments in Facebook. It'll be in the comments description in LinkedIn and description in YouTube. Any final words, Consuela?
Yeah, I just think that you're meant to have an impact in this world. And the more you focus, the more impact you have. Time to go from being an idea chaser to an impact maker.
Right, impact maker. Thank you so much, Consuela.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.